In this video, I'm going to give you a general overview of research databases and show you how to access the research databases that are provided to you as a Gateway student. So first, let's begin with a definition. What is a research database? You can think about it almost like a search engine, almost like a Google. But the difference between a Google and a research database is that when you search on Google, you get everything. You get things that come from magazines. You might get some scholarly research here and there, but you're also going to get things that are just produced by your uncle, your Uncle Fred, right? People who don't necessarily have credentials or authority to speak on a matter. That's the beauty of the internet, right? Anybody can say anything. Unfortunately, when it comes to research, we need to make sure that our sources are credible, relevant, accurate, and come from sources of authority. And so one way that we do that is instead of just doing a broad internet search, we use specific search engines that focus only on articles that are scholarly or that have already been vetted for being credible. And the way that you're going to do this is you're going to navigate first to the Gateway homepage. And at the very top of the screen, you're going to find the library. And we're going to navigate there. Now, before I move forward and talk to you about the research databases, I want to pause and just point out that on the very right side of the screen, there are a couple of different ways for you to get in touch with a librarian. And you can actually set up a virtual appointment with a librarian who will help walk you through your individual research, right? So not talk to you about research broadly, but you can sit down with your librarian and say, I need some help researching about gun laws. Here's my assignment. And he or she will sit down with you and help get you started. Back to databases. If we take a look again at the Gateway Library webpage, we see the word databases here. And so we're going to go ahead and click. And this is going to give us the research databases that Gateway Community College subscribes to. Now you're going to have to log in with your student ID and your password because the general public does not have access to this information. These research databases will connect you to information that only community college students or Connecticut community college students have access to, which comes through the payment of your tuition. So the college subscribes to these. All right, there are various kinds of research databases that you'll find listed on this page, and you're going to use different kinds of research databases for different reasons. For example, let's say you are taking an early childhood education class, and you're assigned to do some research about how young people learn to read. Well, you're likely going to want to navigate to the topic of education, which is going to bring you to a number of research databases that are specific to the topic of education. Similarly, if you're taking a business or a law class and you are assigned an essay to compare and contrast two different kinds of business law, well, you would likely want to come to the business and law research databases to see what you can find to help move your research forward. So this is one way to think about how to navigate the research. Two other things that I want to point out to you before we move forward is that there are full-length ebooks and audiobooks available to you as a Gateway student. And there's also films, streaming documentaries that are available to you. So this in particular, you might find useful for our assignment, the current events research argument, but just in general to be aware that both of these sources are here for you. Let's move forward. As I scroll down, you'll notice that we are just getting different kinds of research databases that fall underneath each of those categories. And I want to pause here where it says all subject general. All subject general are really excellent places to start because what these are is they're academic search engines that pull from other academic search engines. You can almost think about them as like mega search engines or mega scholarly databases that can pull from a variety of sources. And this is oftentimes a really good place to start, especially as you're just beginning with your research and as you're beginning your academic career and your research interests have not gotten super specific yet. And two of the most popular are JSTOR here and Academic Search Premier. So these are two excellent sources that you might begin to gather some research from. I want to keep scrolling, right, and point out again that here's our business law. So we, again, have different kinds of research databases that fall under that category. History and government, you might find this useful for our assignment, especially if you're writing about perhaps the civil rights era or Connecticut-specific controversy. We have historical records from the Hartford Courant. And this section in particular will be useful for us, current events issues. So the purpose of this video is to just give a general overview of research databases available to you at Gateway. In the next video, I'm going to move into the current events research databases and show you around so that you can use that for this assignment.